What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this brand new episode of Restorations with Vic. Today we're going to be taking care of these Pacific Blue Air Jordan 7s that I picked up in Dallas SneakerCon for a great price. Some guy came by the table, told me to go to the parking lot. He said he had a ton of shoes in his truck. I was a little sketched out at first, but it was worth a shot. Checked out his truck. He had shoes from floor to ceiling. I was in there for a good 30 minutes just digging through a bunch of good stuff. I found 4 pairs, this pair, and 3 other shoes that I'll show you guys later. So for these Pacific Blue 7s, as you can see, they're pretty trashed. What we're gonna be doing is giving them a full deep clean, repainting the midsoles, getting rid of the creasing on the midsoles. They're doing some touch-ups on the uppers, and some other details. Overall, the shoe is not that bad. Once they clean up, they're gonna look near dead stock, so that's what I'm looking forward to. So let's get started. For this cleaning, we're gonna be using Reshoevn8r's 3-brush 4-ounce kit. I'm not sure we're gonna be using the single laundry system. Once we do the full cleaning, we'll find out. But for now, we'll stick to the 3-brush 4-ounce kit. Squirt a couple of squirts. You don't need too much. This stuff is highly concentrated. All right, perfect. So the purpose of the shoe tree is to remove the creasing, and also when you're cleaning, it helps apply pressure on the toe box. First brush we're gonna be using is our medium bristle brush. What we're gonna be doing is cleaning up the uppers in a circular motion, just like this. Near the leather cut and the stitching, it is pretty dark, so we're gonna wanna hit those areas extra hard, just so the shoe doesn't look all clean except for the stitching. This area especially was super dark. So the leather looks pretty good. Took care of the midsoles as well. So now we're gonna move on to the next brush, which is our soft bristle. We'll be using this brush to clean up the nylon tongues, the sock liner inside, and these suede patches on both sides of the shoe, and we'll also hit the back tongue. The soles look pretty dirty. I'm pretty sure the stiff bristle is not going to do the job, but we're going to try it anyway. I'm sure we'll get 90% of the stains out, but if not, we'll be using the brass bristle to fully get these soles back to 100% clean. As you can see on the soles, they look pretty clean overall. I'm not going to be using the brass bristle. I was wrong. But we are going to be using the brass bristle for the toe cap area. As you can see, it's pretty stained all around. I hit it hard with the stiff bristle. Nothing happened. I'm pretty confident the brass bristle will get that out. All right, so here's a quick comparison of this side compared to the other side. Just a little scrubbing, got that out. Looks pretty much brand new. Now we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. All right, guys, cleaning is fully done. I decided I'm not gonna put these shoes in the washing machine. They cleaned up just fine. You're just using the 3-brush 4-ounce kit. They look good. You know, the creasing came out during that pre-treatment. The soles came out fine. The uppers came out perfect. There's no need for the washing machine. So what we're gonna do next is put the shoe outside and let it dry. All right, guys, shoes are fully dried. Off camera, I went to the sink, flushed out the insides to get some of that grime out. Did a pretty good job at that. The shoes look good overall. They are fully dried. Let's move on to the next step, which is the midsoles. The first thing we're gonna do is tape up the uppers so we can strip the paint using some acetone and cotton balls. All right, so from the looks of it, the paint's wiping right off, which is good. I don't have to do too much scrubbing, which won't create a mess. Lucky me. Alrighty guys, midsoles are fully stripped. As you can see, no paint leakage anywhere on the uppers. That's thanks to a nice tight tape job. Before we lay down the tape once again, the first thing we gotta do is get rid of the creasing all around the midsoles. As you can see, just pretty much on the sides and the back, there's tiny hairline creasing. Before you apply the paint, you wanna get rid of those. It's really easy to do. All you need is a heat gun, be like 5 or 6 inches away, and just kind of go back and forth, and those creasing will go away within 20 seconds. It's really easy. Check it. Alright guys, as you can see, creasing is fully out. That was really easy to do. On the back right here, you could probably still see some hairlines. That's not creasing, that was paint that was inside the creases. So when we go ahead and apply the paint, all that creasing will be gone. You'll have a nice smooth midsole. So we're gonna keep it moving and reapply some tape on the uppers. Soles included this time, so we can lay down the paint afterwards. So from my experience, working with 7s has been the trickiest when it comes to midsole repaints. The part that always gets me are these mountain areas. Paint always leaks through no matter what. Be prepared to do touch-ups. On this pair, I'm gonna try to take my time on the tape job, make sure it's as perfect as you can get. Hopefully there's no paint leakage in any areas, but we'll see. We got the uppers and soles taped up. Now we're gonna lay down the paint. The first color we're gonna lay down is the beige. That color was super tough to mix. It took 7 colors to create. There might be an easier formula, I don't know, but these are the colors it took me. The colors were beige, white, cream, yellow, green, brown, and petal pink. I'm gonna give you guys a basic idea on the ratios to mix to create that color. What I started off with was the cream and beige. Say this much of cream, a little bit of beige, give it a couple of drops of yellow. Yellow is a really strong color, don't overdo it. Just give it like between 2 and 3 or 4 drops of yellow, give or take. Same thing with the brown, 3 or 4 drops. Same thing with the green, give it about 3 drops. This is give or take, guys. You might have to mess around with the color, but these are like the ratios I use to create the mix. And a little bit of pink. There we go. Alright, so now we'll save the white till last. Usually I use the white to either lighten up the color if it needs it. We'll see. Alright, so this is the mix I already did off camera. This was 100% matched to the original color. As you can see, it's like a nice light beige color. The color is really tricky because there's like a hint of green, a hint of yellow, a hint of pinkish. That's why this color was so hard to mix. Usually any beige color I have a hard time with. It's just a weird color. So over here, as you can see, it's pretty dark. I'm in the same ballpark as the original mix, but it's still pretty dark. So that's when that's where the white comes in to lighten up that color. Alright, so I'm getting closer. As you can see though, I'm in the ballpark, but you're gonna have to mess around with the colors. The ratios are never exact. It's just a lot of messing around with. That mix took me a good 45 minutes. There's been times where there's been harder mixes that took me 5 minutes just because I got unlucky. But I gave you guys pretty much the basic info that you guys need. You got the colors, you got the ratios. Now you guys got to tinker with it to get that exact match. Alright guys, we got the beige laid down all around. The color match is perfect. Let me show you guys real quick. Took a little while. Even after I started laying the color, I had to do some tinkering with the color. It was a little bit too light. I added a little bit of brown, then it made it too brown. Added a little bit of yellow, then it was too yellow. Finally added some green and it kind of made the color match 100% perfect. So like I said, you guys gotta you know, get creative with the color mix, because I gave you guys the ratios, I gave you guys the colors, but you know, you gotta mess with it. So now moving on to the next color, it'll be the orange color. That color was super easy to mix because there was no mixing involved. I only used one color, which is Angela's Buttercup. I just put it in this container just because it looks nicer. So what we're gonna do first is tape around those mountain areas so we can lay down the paint. All right, Buttercup's laid down. That color laid down really nicely and smooth. Took several coats though. It took about 6 or 7, but looks good all around, all 3 parts. So now we gotta do is lay down the third color, which is this blue. Took 3 colors. The main color I used was Mist. Added a little bit of Gamma Blue and a few drops of red. Next part is the fun part. Let's remove the tape. All right, not bad. As you can see, I give it a B+. There is some paint leakage in some areas. The lines aren't totally crisp, but that's easy. I could touch that up later. I was just mainly worried about paint being ripped off and bigger leakage occurring. But overall, not too bad. It was just this one little piece on this corner and a little bit down here. Like I said, it's not that bad. I'm just really picky about my repaints, but overall I would say it's all right. All 3 parts of the midsoles are fully complete. That's pretty much going to wrap up the midsoles. Overall, it came out way better than I expected. There are some tiny touch-ups that are needed, but I do remember on the Citrus 7s needing a lot of touch-ups all around. I thought it was going to be the same thing with this shoe, but I was wrong, thankfully. It's very minimal touch-ups. I could take care of those in a few minutes, but it looks great. The color matching is on point. I'm really proud of this midsole repaint. So let's touch up the midsole so we can move on to the next part. Alright, so we are all done with the midsoles for the most part. We still gotta spray them with the matte finish, but we'll come back to that later. First, we're gonna go ahead and take care of these deep scratches that are on the side panel right here. They are pretty deep, so hopefully we can smooth those out as best as possible. We're gonna be using 1200 grit sandpaper. What we're gonna do is pretty much just go on those areas, go back and forth to try to, you know, sand those areas down. Hopefully it could be smooth enough to where you could go back and paint it and it won't be visible at all. I doubt it'll be that perfect, but it'll look better than this. Alright guys, so here's some progress. There's not much of a crazy difference, but it's definitely smoother. If I sand anymore, what I'm gonna end up doing is damaging the rest of the area around those scratches. And this kind of leather is tumbled leather, so if I keep on sanding, I'm gonna get rid of the tumbled leather in that area. It's gonna look really smooth, and it'll look more obvious that I touched up that area. So, you know, we don't want to damage it even more. This is good enough. Let's repaint it. Before we lay down the paint, we're gonna be using rubbing alcohol and a cotton ball to go over those areas to, you know, remove any residue from the sanding and just to make sure it's prepped. We don't need to use acetone. The touch-ups are very small, so rubbing alcohol will do just fine. Alright, so just so you guys know, the colors I used to create this color was cream, a little bit of yellow, and a little bit of beige. Alright guys, midsoles are fully complete. Off camera, I took off the tape, did some touch-ups. Midsole though came out beautiful. The shoe is pretty much complete. It was just a cleaning and a midsole repaint and touch-ups on the uppers. As you can see, the uppers as well are done. It looks good. In some angles you can see the scratch, but in other angles it looks nice and smooth. The color match was 100% good. All we gotta do now is go outside, protect the paint job on the uppers and midsoles with some Krylon. Matte finish. Alright guys, once again, that's gonna bring us to an end on this restoration. Check out the before and afters. I know the before shoe wasn't that bad. I knew that going in. I knew the shoe though was gonna clean up really nicely to the point where they almost look dead stock, and that's kind of what happened. I'll show you guys just in a bit. Check out the befores though. As you can see on the midsoles, had lots of cracking all around, paint scuffing on the mountain areas especially. The uppers, they were pretty dirty. A lot of surface grime, a lot of surface dirt, but luckily they cleaned up nicely. Usually when there's a lot of grime on a shoe like this, I'm always worried about the leather cuts. Since they are pretty, like on this shoe specifically, the color is pretty light, so the leather cuts are these pieces all around the panels. Sometimes those areas don't fully clean up, but as you can see on the after, the leather cuts look all nice and clean, back to the original color. And the rest of the shoe looks just as clean as well. One thing I do want to mention, I did put shoe trees in the shoe. So on this before shoe, as you can see, there's creasing. After shoe, no creasing. You can see there's no marks anywhere on the toe box. I didn't do the iron method on this shoe. The shoe trees and the cleaning took care of the creasing. That's the best thing about the shoe trees. That when you're cleaning the shoe, it automatically takes care of the creasing when they dry. That was pretty much it guys, just a repaint and cleaning. This video was mainly to show you guys my techniques in mixing paint. I'll try to go in more in depth in future videos. I know you guys ask that a lot. But yeah guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This shoe cleaned up really nicely. Make sure to head over to Reshoevn8r.com to purchase your Reshoevn8r 3-brush 4-ounce kit. I forgot to mention I also use a brass brush to clean up these toe caps. I'll show you guys that real quick. This shoe was super stained. So yeah guys, make sure to head over to Reshoevn8r.com to purchase your Reshoevn8r products. They're the best in the world. This is Vic. I'll see you guys on the next one.